Welcome to another SMAB clip. In this video, you will learn if it is better to set fixed prices or to negotiate prices for service provision. If you do it wrong, you lose some money. This is why it is important to know for what kind of services you should set fixed prices, and for what kind of services you should negotiate with your customers. If you set fixed prices, you follow a posted price strategy. If you negotiate, you apply a bargaining strategy. Some basic terms must be known before we can start. Do you know what a reservation price is? And what is a reservation value? Sometimes a reservation value is also called willingness to pay. Both is the maximum price the customer is willing to pay for specific products or services. If a customer's willingness to pay is higher than the price set by the seller or than the result of bargaining, then you call it a deal. If the willingness to pay is lower, then there is no deal. A so-called reservation price is the minimum price a seller demands. If the seller sets the price, she will not set a price that is below her marginal costs. Marginal costs are the additional costs for the regarded deal. Normally, a seller wants to earn some money. Therefore, she sets a price which is higher. The deal is made if customer's willingness to pay is higher. If his willingness to pay is lower, there is no deal and the seller gets angry because she could have earned money if she only had set the price equal or lower than his willingness to pay. That's logical, isn't it? But what opportunities do sellers have if they negotiate prices? Bargaining offers many options and reveals information about both sides. On one side, the seller will learn what degree of customization the customer wants, and she gets a better guess about his willingness to pay. On the other side, the customer gets a better guess about her reservation price. Is she honest when she talks about her reservation price? If he knew her marginal costs, he would know her reservation price. However, she knows her marginal costs and she will not accept a bargaining result below her marginal costs. But we can learn from an article which was published in 2006 in the Journal of Service Research. There it is shown with the little help of a mathematical model which pricing strategy is advantageous, a posted price or a bargaining strategy. A bargaining strategy is always advantageous for the seller if services are tailor-made. Although the profit depends on the marginal costs, the favorability of these pricing strategies do not depend on the marginal costs. Wow, marginal costs are not decisive when it comes to the question whether a posted price or a bargaining strategy is advantageous. Consequently, marginal costs and pricing strategy influence profits. But watch out, there is more to consider. With the help of the mathematical model, it is shown that the degree of customization is decisive for a rational selection of a pricing strategy. Posted prices are advantageous if the seller offers standardized services. If tailor-made services are offered, the seller should apply a bargaining strategy. Bargaining strategies can significantly increase profits of highly customized services. Nevertheless, in addition to the marginal costs of service provision, bargaining costs can occur, especially when bargaining is delegated to staff members. High bargaining costs can compensate the effect. So, we have to consider the possibility that high bargaining costs occur. What else is important to consider? Markets are very different regarding the bargaining power. This is why the mathematical model includes not only costs but also bargaining power. In a market where many service providers exist but only a few customers come into question for tailor-made services, the customer has much more bargaining power than the other way around. In that case, bargaining power can also compensate the favorability of bargaining strategies. Furthermore, bargaining costs and bargaining power can do much more than compensate this effect. However, in most cases, a bargaining strategy may be partly advantageous for customized services. To put it in a nutshell, if customers' bargaining power is not high and if sellers' bargaining costs are low, a bargaining strategy is advantageous for highly customized services. This effect may be reduced through high bargaining costs and high customers' bargaining power, but negotiating the price for customized services is still worthwhile in most cases. Get the whole article for further reading. This article was written by Professor Stefan Roth at the University of Kaiserslautern, Professor Herbert Woratschek at the University of Bayreuth, and Dr. Sven Pastowski, who was a former research assistant to Professor Woratschek and then started working at Adidas after his PhD. You can find the link in the description of this video. Also, check out our SMAB Clips playlist on Professor Woratschek's YouTube channel, become part of our SMAB community, and follow Professor Stefan Roth and Professor Woratschek on ResearchGate for more info and research projects. And now, think about your own pricing strategy. Will you negotiate or just set a fixed price? See you soon!